Hey everyone, this is a little trippy. I'm currently looking at a video I just recorded, and I realized I started it without much of an explanation. So in this class, we're going to be working on the same stuff we did the previous class, the area and circumference of circles, and working on more challenging problems. So last class, you should have tried to get your score up to 50 or 60 or so. This class, we're going to make that final push to get up to 80 or above. So enjoy this video, and as always, let me know if you have any questions. A equals, let's check, A equals pi r squared. So the formula we will be using is A equals pi r squared. What is A? 28.26. What is pi? 3.14. And then times r squared. So same as before, I'll just do this whole problem, why not? Same as before, we're going to divide by 3.14 to get r squared by itself. So divide by 3.14. We need to use algebra here. We want to get the r squared all by itself. And if it helps, you can draw the line down the middle, because remember, whatever you do on one side of the equal sign and one side of the line, you have to do it on the other. So let's check. What is this? Let me put it into my calculator. It is 9. So 9 equals not r, but r squared. This is where you have to be careful. We wish this was just r, because that's what we're trying to figure out, but 9 equals r squared. So now we have to do the square root. Remember, it's a little symbol that looks like this on a calculator. So what is the square root of 9? Well, I'll just bring in my calculator. You guys can see it. Hopefully you can see this okay. We have 9. The square root symbol is here, square root of 9. That tells us the answer is 3. So this is really helpful. Now we know that the square root of r squared is r, which means 3 equals r. So you're probably about to write in 3 for the answer, but wait, that is not right, because what is the problem asking? It's asking to find the circle's diameter. So now we know that the radius equals 3, but we don't know the diameter. Maybe you already know how to do this last step, but just in case you don't, let's check out the formula for the diameter. Radius equals diameter divided by 2. So this is just telling us that the radius is equal to the diameter divided by 2. In other words, the radius is half the diameter. Radius equals diameter divided by 2. But we can solve this as an equation, just like we might. 3 equals d divided by 2. What's the opposite of dividing by 2? Multiplying by 2 times 2 times 2. And you will get that 6 equals the diameter. Remember, the radius is the distance from the center to the edge. That's 3. The diameter is the distance all the way across, so it's always double the radius. So 6 makes sense because 6 is double the radius. So that was a complicated problem. We had to use a couple different formulas, but you are definitely capable of doing it. Just take it one step at a time, figure out the radius, figure out the diameter, figure out whatever you need to figure out. Make sure you're reading the question carefully and using the formulas that we have access to. 6, submit. Good work. You know what, let's do one more in the challenge zone. Sorry, I'm doing so many examples. Oh, this does not look fun. This is telling us the area of a circle is 0.0314 square miles. What is the circle's circumference? Yeah. So this is a challenging one. And I'll go over this in the next video. And welcome to the next video. For you, it seems like a new video. For me, it's literally 1 second after I recorded the last one. So we're taking a look at this challenge problem. We have a circle. with an area of 0.0314 square miles. So I'm just going to write area equals 0.0314. Not a great number. Don't love that number, if I'm being honest, but it's what we have, and we will be able to deal with it. So this is the area. Now we need to find the circumference. Now, normally we would want to find something that included a formula that included the circumference, but we don't have any formulas that have the area and the circumference. We have a formula for the area and a formula for the circumference, but they're not related. So we're going to start with the area, try and figure out the radius, and then once we found the radius, we can figure out the circumference. So let's start with this formula. Area equals pi times r squared. So we start, as we always do, writing out the formula. A equals pi r squared. What is A? It is 0.0314. And it equals pi, which we're going to use 3.14 for, times the radius squared, which we don't know. That's what we're trying to figure out. Remember, we're going to use algebra to get r all by itself. So first step, we have to divide to get rid of the multiplication, to cancel out the multiplication. So we're going to divide by 3.14. Divide by 3.14. And make sure you enter this into a calculator. Whenever you have decimal points, it's easy to mix it up. So 0.0314 divided by, oh, and I did enter it wrong, 0.0314 divided by 3.14. And that is going to give us 0.01 equals r squared. So this is where we are going to need to do the square root. Remember, you can do this on Google. You can probably do this on a calculator on your own, but I don't know how, because everyone has different calculators. So this is the square root button on Google. Then you're going to press 0.01, enter, and that is equal to 0.1. So the square root of 0.01 is 0.1. And that means r is equal to 0.1. So that's a big piece of info. We have the area, now we have the radius is equal to 0.1, and it would be miles, because that's the unit we're working with. All right, remember, that's not the answer. The problem is asking us, what is the circle's circumference? So we got the radius. We're going to erase all of this work because that was just to help us get the radius. And I erased the radius, so I will write that back. Don't you worry. The radius is 0.1 miles. And we're going to use that to find the circumference. So let's check our notes. Circumference equals 2 times pi times r. So we're going to use that formula. C equals 2 pi r. We don't know what C is. That's what we're trying to figure out. We do know that 2 is just 2. We do know that we use 3.14 for pi. If you forgot, it was right here. And the radius we just figured out is 0.1. So now all you're going to do, put this all into a calculator. 2 times 3.14 times 0.1 is equal to C equals 0.628. Now, honestly, this is a long problem. I'm not 100% sure I got this right. So I'm going to check. I'll put it in, and if I made a mistake, it'll tell me what I did wrong. Radius, sorry, it's incorrect. Oh, here's the problem. It wanted us to round to the nearest mile. So this is a very good lesson. We actually did have it correct, but it shows us all the work we did. And this is very useful. You can see it tells you how to find the radius, tells you how to find the circumference, but then it wanted us to round our answer to the nearest hundredth. So we get 0.628. We didn't put it in the right way. We just needed to round. We didn't read the question carefully enough. So that's a lesson to read the question carefully. Hopefully this is helpful, and you can see that I make mistakes sometimes too. Have a great day, and bye-bye.